Hey, what's up, everyone? We are here to deep dive into conversations where culture and mental health collide.
Yeah, because let's be real. Culture shapes how we think and how we deal with the world around us. And sometimes that gets complicated. And when it comes to mental health, it really does.
Absolutely. Whether it's the pressure of fitting in, the stigma around mental health in certain communities, or how our cultural backgrounds affect how we cope. There's a lot here to unpack.
Each week on Culture Compass, we're breaking down those barriers, talking about how culture impacts mental wellness, and sharing stories from real life that will make you think, reflect, and maybe even help you navigate your own journey.
So, whether you're balancing your own mental health or just trying to learn a little bit how it plays into your life, you can always know you're in the right place here.
Get ready for deep dives, personal stories, and some eye opening perspectives that'll make you see culture and mental health a whole new way.
That's right. So let's get into it. This is the Cultural Compass, where culture meets mental health.
Hey, Culture Compass. Today, we are talking about how mental health perspectives change throughout generations. I'm Miles, and joining me today are Ethan and Gavin, and I'm Miles. Let's get the conversation started. Henry, tell me about growing up and how mental health was viewed in your family.
Okay, Miles, when I was growing up, nobody in my family really talked about mental health or any of those types of issues. My parents just thought, well, if you had a problem, deal with it. You know what they used to say, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So I learned to just
Right. That's interesting, Henry. I think there has been a cultural shift throughout generations, and it plays into mental health. I think we're more open about talking about our own culture and mental health than other generations, and we are just better at opening up, letting our feelings show. And just know you can always seek assistance. And I was comfortable telling my friends.
Right, Miles. And I think it's big in social media, normalizing mental health that way. It could be people being like, oh, I've been going to therapy, or something like the conversation doesn't seem so off anymore.
I think. Okay, never mind.
That's a pretty good point. Growing up, I did not even know what therapy was, and when anybody ever mentioned it, it was always or usually in a bad negative context. Nowadays, it's almost like some sort of trend among younger folks. It would appear.
Maybe that trendiness makes the practice less stigmatized. Miles, do you think this affects your generation with regards to how you seek mental health?
That's a weird question, but if I were to use an analogy, I would say it's like a double-edged sword in some ways. I feel like it's great we talk about our mental health more openly, but at the same time, sometimes it feels like you're like pressured to have this perfect mental health journey. Like social media is always full of people who just seem like they know what they're doing, they're perfect, it's all about their mental health. And that's just overwhelming.
Absolutely. The risk of simplification is there. Just because we talk about it doesn't mean we don't understand it or know how to support each other. We have to go into a deeper kind of conversation beyond sharing memes.
That's an important point. My family didn't know, well, how do you say it, how to support each other in an emotional way. We would always tell each other that feelings were just something and we were just going through a phase. I had to relocate to meet friends who spoke more openly about their feelings, and my thoughts on mental health changed.
It seems like experiences define who you are in mental health. How about you, Ethan? Does your background play into how you view mental health and your thoughts on these?
Well, I grew up in a mixed cultural household. My mom was very open about her struggles with depression, and my dad said saw mental health as a weakness. This
I'm sorry about that, but that is powerful, I guess. I would say just I don't know. Like, it's like we're in the middle of a cultural shift now, and we're just trying to redefine what mental health means in our own lives.
We also have to remember all these generational differences don't come in a vacuum. Most people would be influenced by their cultural background, statuses of socioeconomic life, and other factors that shape the way they think about approaching their mental health.
Exactly. What kind of advice would you give to someone from the older generation what mental health?
Point, I would say, just listen and ask questions. It's okay if you don't get everything, but being open to learning from younger generations will help bridge that gap.
Sharing is true. Sometimes it's really powerful how you connect on shared struggles, even though they come from a different perspective.
How about we get some other stories from other individuals?
I see you're on the podcast today. You're on Culture Compass. How do you feel about this, and what's your name?
My name is Steve Spalding, and I really enjoy Culture Compass, especially the Helmet Man.
So, why were you interested in mental health?
I think mental health is very important. In our current society, we're very focused on physical health. But I would argue that mental health is at least as important, if not more important, because mental health can affect a person's physical health as well. So, striving for mental wellness is really a good thing for a person to do.
Interesting. So tell me, what does mental health mean to you, and why do you think it's important?
Mental health means to me that you have control over your mental faculties, which is something I think a lot of people are not aware of, that they have absolute control over their emotions, their feelings, the types of things they think. If we taught more people about that every human being is the boss of their mind, we might have a different mental health situation here in our Western civilization. So I think it's important to spend time not only on your physical health. If you think about a person's physical health, we're very concerned about what you eat, right? You go into the grocery store, you buy organic, non-GMO, grass-fed beef, all good things. But how many people do you know who are really concerned about what they feed on mentally? So what good is it if I go and I buy the best organic food and then come home and sit for 6 hours and watch the most awful, horrific films ever made? It kind of cancels each other out. So I think how Cultural Compass is focused on mental health is good. And I think Helmet Man has the right perspective.
Yep, I would agree.
Mm-hmm. What do you believe are the biggest challenges facing mental health today?
I would say, like I just mentioned a few minutes ago, what you feed on mentally, what you think about a lot. I'm not talking about that fleeting thought that comes through your mind, like I'm going to punch Gavin in the face. That's a fleeting thought. I'm talking about what you really dwell on. What are you putting your mind on? So I think that's where the focus needs to be for people. It might be good to really think about good things, like your family, like I think getting out in nature is a really good thing. Spending some time outdoors, enjoying the sun, the sky, and then being aware of, being watchful of what you feed on in your mind. Like I mentioned to you guys a few minutes ago, if all you're feeding on is social media garbage 10 hours a day, you are not going to be the most happy individual there is. I think Miles said in the last segment about social media presents this perfect mental health journey. Nobody has perfect mental health. Everybody needs to take care of their mental health. So I think in answer to your question, Helmet Man, feeding on something other than social media, film, television, not that any of those things are bad, but you wouldn't spend your whole day eating Big Macs from McDonald's, would you?
No.
As much as we'd like to, because who doesn't love a Big Mac?
I don't like them.
Oh, I love them. And fries. But if I ate them all day long for just a few days, how's my physical health?
Terrible.
Terrible. So that's
How would that change how you feel in your mental health?
well, I think if I ate mangoes every day, I'd probably start dancing a lot more. Yeah,
Dancing.
yeah. Mangoes, dancing, don't they go together?
I mean, kind of, yeah.
Yeah,
I could see it.
yeah. I ate a mango once years ago, and next thing I know, I'm on Broadway doing a dance musical.
Damn.
Mangoes and dancing.
Yeah,
Nice.
Yeah.
good question. Are you into mangoes?
Honestly, yeah, I kind of like that.
You
They're
like-
pretty good. Kind of. I just mainly like
Mangoes, yeah.
and water. The water.
Water that doesn't move.
The water that doesn't move.
Just still water.
That's-
That's the good stuff.
That's deep, Henry.
That's the good stuff.
That's what I'm talking about, mental health. Focus on that one line from Henry right now. The water that doesn't deep. I believe Henry's probably the more philosophical of the podcast.
I would believe so.
Yes. Probably from all the European Finnish metal he listens to.
European metal, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, well, I'm glad to have been on this podcast, gentlemen. Keep up the good work.
Well, sorry, Culture Compass. Steven had to leave. He had a knee surgery that he had to go to, so.
Yeah. All right. So sharing stories takes the mystique out of mental health. No matter how old someone is, we always have something to learn from each other.
The conversation on mental health aims to understand and support individuals from different generations despite differing opinions.
For our listeners, thanks for tuning in. Remember, your mental health matters, and it's always okay to ask for help. Until next time.